Hello all. For June 2012, I've looked all over and there just isn't a lot of oil news out there right now because there's not a lot happening. The world economy is sort of dwindling away because they've all basically decided that growth is the only way we can survive. And as many scientists and economists have said, you can't have growth, ever-ending growth, on a finite planet. We're at the end of growth. We're at the end of cheap oil. Alright, while we're at it, let's go check out what Brent crude's doing. Alright, it started out at 98.5, immediately fell down, up, went down, kind of floated around, and made it all the way down to 96, just a little bit below that. Floated around there, and then went right up, and is at the present 98. Well, that's sure easier. It's a lot less than 3 digits to have to write down. You know how lazy I am at having to write down 3 digits instead of just 2. By the way, Wall Street is going down the whole time. It's not going up at all. Alright, as you can see here in this video, we've had a little bit of rain, but right now it's starting to clear up. Let's go up and see if there's any barges in San Francisco Bay. We use that in helping determine what supplies are like for gasoline and oil. Lately, it hasn't looked too good. And with that, let's go find out what gasoline is doing. This is the inexpensive gas station. We haven't seen $3.99 in, what, half a year or more than a year? This is the expensive gas station. Alright, now for some news. The news comes out of the U.S. and the problem seems to be is that there isn't enough revenue coming in to pay for highways and freeways and bridges and infrastructure that deals with cars, trucks, and automobiles. Right now, the federal tax is 18.4 cents a gallon. For every gallon that you buy, you get 18.4 cents taken out of that to repair federal freeways and highways. Because this amount is so low, the states also put on taxes on gasoline. However, half the states haven't even raised their gasoline taxes in decades and decades. And so there just isn't enough money to pay for infrastructure improvements. And anybody that's driven in California knows how terrible the roads are getting. Some of the ideas, of course, that they're coming out with are absolutely terrible. One idea is to attach a device on your car that tracks where you go and all the gasoline use that you use. The more gas you use, the more tax you get. But that's not the bad part. The bad part is that they're tracking you. Again, if a crime happens right there where you are with the description of the car that you have, how are you going to fight it? It would sure be nice not to have this new tracking ability that the U.S. is quickly embracing. Very rainy, drizzly, foggy day. Okay, one more thing. Let me go to it. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg decided that when he goes to Italy, he's not going to leave tips. He skipped leaving tips in 2 restaurants. The guy is a multi-millionaire. What a piece of basura. This is why the rest of us who aren't millionaires need to forget about Facebook, or anything to do with these pieces of garbage, because they're too good to pay even tips to us people who barely make a living at all. That's what I think of Facebook. Basura. That's why we have to support our small artists, our small little stores, and our local co-ops and farmers markets. Let me show you somebody who I'm supporting today who lives on the west coast of Canada. They make items such as t-shirts, mugs, and these cute little cards, and thank you cards, which you can find on Pink Barrio right here. Why don't you go give them your support, your money? And let's forget about these horrible basura CEOs. Man, these people aren't worth our time. You know, let them drown in their own greed. Okay, all. This is a package that I have to return to a store. Really crappy manufacturing, so I'm returning it. I haven't taken it to the post office yet. I have no idea what it weighs. It doesn't weigh much, it's just a pillow. And that's the size. There's a tripod and the doorknob, so you get kind of an idea of the size. So the question has to be, what's the weight? None of us know what the weight is. We're all pretty familiar with how weight is. I would say it's under 10 pounds. That's kind of a clue, because I know it's under 10 pounds.